Dean, I saw that the stock market crashed in Japan. Why is that affecting us so badly?
It's because of this thing called the carry trade. The Fed started increasing rates over a year ago. Japan had negative rates. So you look at starting from a year ago, you look at how weak the yen was. Japan had negative interest rates. You pay a bank money, you have to pay a bank money to hold your money, for example, right? Negative. And our rates were going up, right? So what that spread caused a demand for Japanese yen. It's called a carry trade. You borrow with yen at a super low interest rate, and you take all that money, and you can put it in fixed income and equities here that are giving you this big returns. It's kind of arbitrage. What happened was, I think that was happening. I've read a lot about, like, Buffett was doing that, and some people at that level were doing that. Institutions were doing that, but the magnitude it did was so big. And what happened was the BOJ, the Bank of Japan, just recently, last week, stopped doing that, stopped buying their bonds, right? So their rates went up, and if you look at the US dollar against the yen tanked. So all these people had short positions over there, borrowing on yen and using the money here, had to cover their trades. So, and that coupled with, the concerns about earnings, about growth over here, everything just hit at one time. Everyone had to dump their equities here, dump the tech stocks here out, and all that, and cover their positions in Japan, because the yen the US dollar was tanking against the yen, right? So that, all in all, has caused a crash. If you look at what happened last night, this morning was like all the Asian markets crashed because of that unwinding of all those positions, all the buybacks, all the short coverings and stuff like that, right? And that pulled all the liquidity out of this market on Friday and this morning, and it tanked us here. There was a big gap to cover over there.
Wow.
So it's called the carry trade covering. And the magnitude of it was so high, it's affected us, and it's affected the rest of the world in Asia.
Wow.
In a big way. Everyone is tanking right now.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's what's happening. And that coupled with the fact that we're concerned about rates being overcooked, being held too high, about GDP concerns, unemployment concerns, that and this all happens at one time, you got this kaboom.